First of all, I'd like to say how sorry I am I can't be with you in person today in Brussels. It was the one day in June that was absolutely impossible for me to be here. I had such a wonderful time in Copenhagen with the group of people that Uffe Elbæk put together for this conference. It was so inspirational, and I would have loved to have seen you all again in person and had some more interesting discussions. The theme of this conference, I think, is very brave, and I say congratulations to the Minister of Culture for having the courage to address the theme of culture being able to be a way to move forward and get out of this crisis we're currently in. That creativity is so important in the world today and seems to have been forgotten, in my opinion, mostly in the education system. And I feel it is it must be our goal to try and bring creativity at the highest level back into the world, into the education systems, but in all generations, that people should be encouraged to think differently, to think creatively, to think outside of the box, so to speak, and to find a complete new way of thinking to move forward. Not to stick to the old systems of the consumer-driven society that we now find our norm. I think there are many other ways to approach the world, and I hope that this conference may be just a small way of starting that thinking. I'd just like to read one quote to you, which I think is fantastic, which is very pertinent to this theme. "Creativity is the most essential skill for navigating an increasingly complex world," or so said 1,500 CEOs across 60 countries in a recent survey by IBM. I think that that shows clearly that people are seeing the deficit in our way of thinking on one-track, money-driven world, and I hope that this discussion today will show many different facets how that can be demonstrated. I've chosen a project. I work in the field of dance, and it may seem an obscure way to be creative, but I've always ascertained that dance is a human instinct, that children at the smallest size instinctively move to music. It is something so human, and it's something that you can feel. I don't think there are many ways of being creative where you actually feel the creativity in your body. And this project that I have chosen is a project that is at Sadler's Wells Theatre in London, part of their creative program. They have many different programs, fantastic things going on there. And this particular program is called Sum of Parts. And I'll show you a small clip in a moment that will demonstrate it best. But what I like about it, it approaches all age groups. The youngest person in this project is 9 years old, and the oldest is 90. And some of those people have danced before, and some haven't. And they are put together to work with various choreographers from different groups to be creative together and to see what happens and how they feel when they're creative. So first of all, I'll show you the clip, and then I'll say something else.
To sum the project up very concisely, there are a cast of almost 150 people who range in age from 9 to 90. Huge range of abilities. The project brings together 6 of our resident companies and puts them to work with the community groups to produce what we hope will be a very unique result. It's a cross-art collaboration, the project. We started off with workshops with a writer, an animator and the choreographers, and from that produced an inspiration pack, and the actual performance will also involve animation that's been developed alongside the dance.
The whole idea is that that first session that we have is an idea to explore some of the creativity of the group members who sometimes wouldn't normally create the piece. They would have the piece delivered to them. But with this idea, they come up with some of the content, and then it goes on to production and then goes on to stage. Yeah.
Every time we come in, we're working with such a different group. Like the other day, we were with Company of Elders and with school children in the morning and people that I wouldn't necessarily be working with on an everyday basis. So I really love doing that.
Let's show Hoffish what you've got.
Yeah, okay.
We can do a little skipping with the hands here. Like, again, you do it as big or as small as you want. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then... Why get involved in a project like that? Because it's fun. And it's inspiring. It's a great project for the dancers, for our dancers. It's a great project for the kids and the elders that are having fun. And yeah, it's a complete win-win situation. The thing we're really looking for in choreography and in dance is to be touched and to be moved and to use emotions through the dance to communicate with other people, and that happens there. I was actually, I felt actually quite privileged to see the elders on their own now dancing, because there is something very emotional about it, actually, and very intriguing somehow.
Working with children and we senior people, I think it's lovely to see the whole spectrum of life performing together, showing their different advantages that each has. The youngsters for their agility and the seniors for their experience.
Okay, but here, your point was on the floor. Here, your point is out. Okay? Once more.
Today it's a bit manic. All the groups are coming together, so I think it's about 130 people. It's a bit hectic, but it's fun, it's good.
Today we've just been rehearsing our finale, the bit at the ending, trying to get it all clean and up and everything, with our timing and cues. It's been quite tiring, but it's been quite fun to see everybody else as a whole, everybody who's taken part in some parts.
I suppose when you're putting on any show, you can have a strong vision, you can very carefully talk to all the creative team, but until everyone's imagination and what they've created comes together, you really don't know what the final thing will look like. And this is like 6 shows rolled into one.
My highlight's probably just been training every week. Although it's tiring, you still have a lot of fun in the studios, trying to learn the dance, and there's been a lot of stress for our teacher, our choreographer and us as well, but we got through it and it's the final day, so I'm ready to give it my all, really.
Meeting new people was really cool, because I wouldn't really have talked to them properly if I've not even seen them. So it's really cool to meet new people and make new friends and connections and stuff.
This will be about the 3rd project I've done, and I must say this is the best one so far for the way we've gelled together, the way we've worked together. We have become a little family quite quickly.
Something I've learnt from this project is don't be afraid to try anything, really give everything a full shot, and don't be afraid to express yourself. Even amongst a group, really find your own voice within it.
I think the main thing I've learned is just not to give up. I think when we started on the first day, we're thinking, God, the way I'm dancing, it's never going to look like how he was doing it. And it was just, you keep on going and going, and it gets better. So that's the thing, it's just don't give up, even if you can't quite get it on the first go. So, if you really work at it, it shows.
When I'm dancing, it just makes me feel at home. I just love to dance. Like, it's a way of expressing like all my emotions and letting everything out. If one day I'd had a really stressful day and I was really angry, when I dance I let out that anger, and it's just about showing people what you can do and just having fun, really, being yourself.
So there you have it. I find that quite inspirational. But I won't linger because I do believe that in the schedule this is lunchtime now, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.